Hey guys, it's Mrs. Dugan. So, welcome back from fall break. Hopefully, everybody had a restful fall break and you got to have, I guess, a break. So, welcome back. I'm sorry I'm not there today. Just to give you kind of an update of what happened. When we left, Mr. Dugan was very sick. We ended up having to go to the hospital, and he stayed there for about a week. He was diagnosed with what's called as viral meningitis. You may have heard that. It's pretty serious. And that actually turned into what's called meningoencephalitis. So again, this was a very serious disease. What essentially happened is that he had a virus that then penetrated the protective lining around his brain, causing infection there. And then it continued to evolve and it ended up with a brain infection. And this is really scary, and we will talk about it even more. Mr. Dugan is always giving me stuff to talk about now when we get to our life science unit at the end of the year. So, what that means right now is that he is recovering. He's still recovering, but I have to make sure that he gets to his doctor's appointments. So today, that's kind of where I am, and I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. Just before we get started, as you can see on the video, it says reviewing expectations. When we left fall break, some of my expectations had broken down. Some of our systems had broken down. So this serves as a reset point. I am not going to bring any hard feelings or frustrations from before break into this new quarter or this new section of our year. But I do want to say that we need to do better. You've been here for more than 9 weeks. You have been more than 9 weeks of 7th graders, so you know what these expectations are, and we need to make sure that we are following them completely and totally. So, first expectation today. You have a couple of assignments that you need to get done. If you do not get them done, you are not following my expectation, which then means that you have a consequence. And that consequence is that you will not get to participate in your lab. Well, after this video, you are going to write down your vocab and then do your crossword. If you don't get your vocab done in those 12 minutes of time, the sub is going to write down your name and you are going to be excluded from the lab. You'll do a worksheet instead. So my suggestion is when the 12 minutes start, you do it immediately. You don't wait till the 6-minute mark or the 4-minute mark. You do it, get it done, make sure your name is checked off, and that way you get to participate in the labs this week. Another expectation, y'all already know this one, and your parents I've communicated this to your parents as well. If your name is written down at all for anything that is arguing, talking, being disruptive, goofing around, not doing work, you have a detention. All right? We are starting this unit off. This is a very fast unit, so if you don't get your work done, you are going to fall behind and your grade will suffer. So, if your name is written down, I'm going to say it again. If your name is written down for anything like disruption or talking, anything, remember, if your name's written down for anything bad, you are going to get a detention, period. Okay? Don't do that. Don't start this off with a detention. It's not worth it. Okay? Now, let's review all of classroom expectations. First things first, I deserve success. All of you do deserve to be successful in this classroom. However, that second part, I am responsible for my own success. I am not going to drag you to the end. I'm not going to drag you to winter break. Okay? Not going to do it. I didn't drag you to fall break. I'm not going to drag you to winter break. What it means to be responsible for your own success. If we have notes, you're taking it. If we have vocab, you're writing it down. If you have an assignment, you get it done. Now, y'all know I will give you grace. I give you grace because I need grace too, okay? In every facet of my life. But you are responsible for getting yourself to the end of this semester. You need to make sure that you are working diligently, because when you get to the end of the semester and you go, Mrs. Dugan, can I have extra credit? I'm going to probably say no, because You weren't doing the work. You weren't being responsible. You don't get extra credit because you forget to do everything else. All right? Now, expectations, again, these are the things that kind of broke down towards the end of the first quarter. Stay respectful, not only to me, but to the people around you. If you don't like what someone is wearing, you don't need to say it. You don't need to call each other names. You don't need to call each other stupid. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like what someone is saying or acting like, write it down on a piece of paper, put it in the complaint jar. That's why I have that. That's a safe area for you to get your frustration out and just put it in there. Okay? Now, Miss Weinstein talks about this. If they can't change it in 5 minutes, don't comment on it. Some people are going to have new haircuts. Don't comment on them. Somebody's going to have a new shirt. Don't comment on it. Don't comment what their face looks like. Okay? Don't. It's not okay. Don't comment on their grade. All right? Stay respectful. Keep those thoughts inside or write them down and put them in the complaint jar. Stay in your assigned area. Guys, this one was really, really bad by the end. You sit in your seats or where I put you. I do that so that we don't have distractions all around the classroom. When somebody's walking to the back of the room to look at the turtles, when somebody is needing to get up and decides that they want to dance in the middle of the room, or somebody decides they don't want to sit with their group and they go with another one. I put you in those places so I know where you are and you are in a good environment for learning. Please. Also, if you want to change areas, what do you have to do? I'm waiting. You have to ask, okay? If you move and then ask, y'all know I'm always going to say no. If you ask before you move, there is a chance that there is a yes. But if you ask after you move, you have totally negated your ability to move. Voices off when I'm teaching, okay? This one again, another one. It's very crucial. If I'm teaching, you should be listening, okay? These are the things that I'm trying to teach you, and then when we get to the test and you have been talking the entire time and you're like, I don't know this stuff, you didn't teach me. I did. You weren't listening, all right? So please make sure that when I am talking or if I've asked a question and your peers are talking, you don't need to speak. I do not need a choir concert, okay? I will come see you. Please ask me to go to your choir concert. I will try my best to get there. I don't need a choir concert. I also do not need moaning or bird noises or burping or the computers making noises, okay? Doesn't need to happen. It's just disruptive and it's disrespectful to everybody around you. Raise your hand when you need something. You do not get to just walk out of my classroom, okay? Some of you have just decided that that's your right and you can. No, you can't. That is a safety issue. We've talked about this at the beginning of school. If you don't believe me, okay, but it is. And you can ask Dr. Pio or Miss Matthews or Miss Holmes about it too. But you know, from kindergarten, you're not allowed to leave the classroom without asking. Be prepared. Guys, some of you have been asking me for chargers since the first day of school. You need to have a charger and you need to have a pencil. I'm going through pencils faster than me using toilet paper when I have a stomach bug, okay? Like, you need a pencil. I'm going to send a message out by the end of the week for people who have not been, who have been using chargers consistently over the last quarter. I'm going to message your parents and say, hey, you need a charger. If you don't know how much they are, I believe they're like $30 through Tech, or you can find a charger yourself on Amazon for your computer too. Be ready. Being prepared also means having your homework. Guys, I have that late work policy, but some of you don't even do it regardless. So if you have homework and you're like, hey, I did homework last night, you should probably tell me because you guys know I do forget sometimes. So please remind me. Next one, be ready to learn. The moment you walk into my classroom, you should be ready to follow these expectations and learn. That's why you're at school, okay? Whether you like that or not, you need to be ready to learn. That looks like being prepared, raising your hand, listening when I'm teaching, staying in your assigned area. It involves all that's on the screen right now. So these expectations are my expectations. If you're not following them, there are consequences that are going to ensue. Moving on to what's next. What's our next unit? Energy. This one's really fun. This is where we're going to have our big roller coaster project, and I'll get into that in a second. But we're going to talk about 3 forms of energy. We're going to talk about mechanical energy, kinetic energy, and potential energy. Just to give you a brief overview, kinetic energy is the energy when something is moving. Okay, so this cap is moving, which means that it has kinetic energy. It's energy due to movement. Now we have potential energy. Potential energy is if something's sitting, it has the potential to move or the potential to do work. Right now, you have a lot of potential energy as you're sitting watching this. All right. So when we combine the two, kinetic and potential, that is mechanical energy. And that's the sum of the energy within a system. So what does the next couple, what should you anticipate? What do the next couple weeks look like? So this unit is pretty short. All right. So we've got 2 major grades here. We've got our CSA, and then we have our roller coaster project. So this week you're going to do notes, and we're going to have labs. If our classes, of all classes, which I really hope have no names written down for not turning in your vocab or doing your vocab, then we've got 2 labs this week. If we don't get through the lab, if we don't get through our notes and we're rowdy and whatnot, then we're going to cut those labs out. If I walk back in on Tuesday and I have people who didn't, the majority of the class who didn't do the vocab, didn't get that done, didn't get the crossword done, then I'm nixing one of the labs. You're not going to do it. If you do not finish your vocab individually, you aren't doing one of the labs. Okay, you need to make sure that you follow my expectations for today. Then next week, we're going to do some practice. We'll have our CFA, and then we'll do our review days. I mean it. This is a quick unit, okay? By the end of next week, you're going to be on your review days, okay? Then the 10th through the 25th, we are going to do our CSA towards the beginning, and then we're going to do our roller coaster project. Now that roller coaster project is really fun. It's a 2-week project. That's a long time for you to be working with the same amount of people. We've done 2 projects now where they've only been 3 or 4 days, and we've had some issues. So this one, you're really going to have to work together. This is going to challenge some of you because it's going to force you to be very cooperative. Now, I had some groups last time and some individuals who will be having individual conversations with me. Here's the thing. If you can't work in a group, you're going to do it by yourself. And this is a very intense project. You are required to make a successful roller coaster using only paper, okay? So you need to make sure that you are following directions, you're listening, and you are applying the principles that we have learned in our lessons to this project. So I'm going to leave you with this. Again, if your name is written down for not doing your vocab, you are not doing a lab. You will be excluded. You will do a worksheet. Okay? If your name is written down for disruption or poor behavior, you get a detention. All right? No ifs, ands, buts about it. So please, when you finish this video, please make sure that you are on task. You are doing the stuff that I've given you, which is 1, your vocab, 2, the crossword. When you finish, make sure that your name is checked off, that you have done your vocab, and you've turned in your crossword to the period bin. Okay? This is your first grade. It's not extra credit. It's a grade. It's a 10-point grade. So please make sure that you get this done. So I will see you tomorrow. Good luck, and I can't wait to get going on this with you.